Hey, what's going on? So I'm coming to you today with a video where I actually talk, and this is my Red Eyes deck, as you can probably see from the millions of Red Eyes cards, and this, and the title, and the thumbnail, and what I just said, that this is a Red Eyes deck. So you can see right away I'm on Dueling Network rather than real life, and there's two reasons for that, really. The first one is that this is still in the OCG, and I can't find a legal TCG copy of this card because one does not exist. And the second reason is because I'm not made of money. And this card, and this card, and somewhat these cards are expensive. They're pretty hard to come. Well, they're not hard to come across, but they're hard to get because they are expensive. That's what prices are. And I am not really prepared to buy this because I'm not too big of a fan of Red Eyes, but I have been liking playing it on Dueling Network. I have actually been enjoying messing around with some of this stuff just for tryouts. I don't really fancy making it in real life, so I figured why not just make a profile because I do enjoy playing it and I do like the deck. And I like the idea of some of the archetypes' new support. But one thing I will say is that there is loads of it. Before we start, is that there is loads of Red Eyes support. So making a deck, I'm just gonna focus on the Red Eyes. Leave it this: a ferocious dragon with a deadly attack. Probably would have guessed that. Anyway, there's loads of support for this. There is so much support that you cannot put it in one deck and call it a real deck. You can if you want to be really like true to the fan base and just be like, oh, I love Red Eyes. I'll put all the Red Eyes cards in so that people love my deck. And yeah, that's cool, but it may not be very consistent at all because there's rituals. I mean, if I just get rid of this and search in here, Red Eyes, you can see there's fusions, there's rituals, there's traps, there's Xyz, there's boss monsters, there's obviously fusion spells, there's baby monsters, which you'll see more of on the next page. Yep, fusion spells, more oh, that's a ritual spell, should I say? More trap cards, and obviously more main deck monsters. Random spell card support. You get the idea. There's loads. There is absolutely too much more ritual spells. There's more. Well, there's not more, but there is too much to put in one deck. And this is my take on it. I left out the rituals, as you can see. I feel like the rituals aren't really that good. This is, eh, it's it's not that good. Lord of the Red is pretty damn good, but it's level 8, and you can't like use monsters from your deck or anything with the transmigration. Is that what this is? Yeah. You kind of have to tribute monsters from your hand and or banish red eyes monsters from your graveyard. Yeah, you see, it's not that good because to equal 8 or more, yeah, okay, you can do obviously two of these. It's not like Necros where they have to add up completely, but it's still meh. So I left it out. Maybe I could build a ritual version and show you that. I'll probably end up doing that. So without further ado, let's get into this. So to start off with, we've got 3 of the Red Eyes Black Dragon because it is a Red Eyes deck and this is the original card. We need this just because it's Red Eyes. It's discard power, it's fusion power, it's dump power, it's level 7 power, it's a 2400 beta that you can normal summon. Hey, who cares? You can bring it back with all sorts, send it with all sorts. It's the core of the deck. This is the card you're going to be chucking around along with the Red Eyes clone, which is this. So then, after 3 Red Eyes, you have the One Summon Skull. It is your other fusion material for your big boss monster over here. But this one, unfortunately, is not a dragon because it's Summon Skull. And it's not level 7. So, even though it is dark, that kind of means nothing. The level 7 dragon is kind of what you need in this deck. And Summon Skull doesn't fit that bill at all. Being a normal monster makes it kind of alright with some of the cards like Silent Doom and Return of the Red Eyes. Yeah, this says normal monster, so you can bring back Summon Skull with this. And it is 25, so perhaps it does have some utility over the 24 of the Red Eyes. I don't know. I mean, seriously, look at this. What what a brilliant design. A 2 tribute 24 compared to a 1 tribute 25. I'm sure Red Eyes was absolutely favourable back in the day. Anyway, moving on, you don't want more than one of these, just because you can use it from your deck, and if you draw it, you can use it from your hand. But if you draw two, you're probably going to lose. Just putting it out how it is. So next up, we've got three of the new Baby Monster. This is not a Red Eyes card, but it is clearly part of the Red Eyes archetype, because it's the level 1 Black Metal Dragon. It's a search card. If it's sent to the graveyard from the field, you just search for any Red Eyes card, except Red Eyes Black Chick, because nobody likes that card. And it's also an equip card. You can pretty much like equip it from your hand or field, most likely from your hand, and just buff up one of your Red Eyes. And it's nice for 600, but obviously nobody runs Axe of Despair in any decks ever. So the main reason you're going to be running this is because you get the search when it leaves the field. So if you exceed with that monster, you get a free search. It's, you play this right, it's essentially it's a Brionac. You discard it for a Red Eyes card. That's essentially what this is. And this isn't even just once per turn. So you can just, equip 3 of these onto one Red Eyes and then search for God knows what. Anyway, so next we're running Dark-Armed Dragon. Only one of, and even though it's limited, I probably would still only run one of them, just because, I mean, it's Dark-Armed Dragon. Its effect cancels, its effect cancels itself, which is just weird. But you have a lot of graveyard manipulation. You have Dragon Shrine to ditch, you have this card to ditch, and you have all kinds of crazy cards to bring back. So, and of course you have Tribute Fodder, and all kinds of graveyard, just all kinds of graveyard manipulation. So that you Dark Armed, even if you draw it mid to late game, there's a chance you may be able to summon it with some smart thinking tactics and all that. So Dark Armed is in here because it's amazing. Plus it's level 7, if it gets Phoenix Chained or something, it's still kind of useful. So then we've got One Keeper of the Shrine. This card is pretty cool. It provides rank 4 support in coordination with these little babies, these other level 4s. Because this, if it's in your hand or graveyard, you special summon it back, and when a dragon goes to the graveyard, not even just your graveyard, I think it's just sent to the graveyard because an effect or card effect or battle, a card effect or battle. So if it gets sent to the graveyard by pretty much anything, you special summon this card, and if it was a dragon type normal monster, you get to add it from your graveyard to your hand. So it's got a lot of synergy with this deck. Plus it's 21 ass, so it's another thing to put on the field. I don't know, maybe. The fact that it comes back from the graveyard is the main reason why, because you're not really losing any card advantage. This can also be used for 2 tributes, by the way. So this can, the next turn, if this is still on the field, you can tribute this for a normal summonable level 7, which is pretty cool. Next up, we've also got 3 of the Red Eyes Black Dragon 2. It's cool, the fact that it's a Gemini, and it has a cool effect if you normal summon it. So maybe you can normal summon this and then make plays in main phase 2. But this isn't actually too relevant. Normally you're just going to go straight into your XCs. But you still need 3 of them for obviously your dumping and your targets for pretty much every other card in your deck. So then we're running the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon because only one of them because it's limited. This is a card, unlike Dark Arm Dragon, where I would actually run 3 of because it's so good if I could. It's just a splashable Uber Dragon. It's like the boss of dragons. People say dragon rulers were the boss of dragons. And yes, they were, and they were probably a lot better than this. But this is still around, so all you people who want dragon rulers back, haha, this card is still around. It wins. And it's amazing because it's just a once per turn free dragon. But whoa. Didn't want to go there. Didn't want to buy one of these. So then, it's Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. There's nothing else I can really say about it. You run it because you do. Next we've got 2 of the OCG card, the Red Eyes Tracer Dragon. This is the newest one that is, for some reason, just wasn't released in Clash of Rebellions or in the Dragons of Legend 2. So it's probably, I don't know when we'll see this in the TCG. No idea. But maybe it'll come out in a Gold series, I don't know. But it's essentially the same as Keeper of the Shrine. You special summon it from your hand when a Red Eyes is destroyed. But then you also special summon the Red Eyes back instead of adding it to your hand. And obviously these cards are both if, so you can just trigger both of them. And then And obviously get the level 4s on the field for a rank 4. So that's easy enough. And it's 17, if nothing else, normal summonable, because there are times when you'll never normal summon. Apart from this is your best normal summon. This is the Black Stone of Legend. Unfortunately, this is not a Red Eyes card, otherwise it would be the staple target for the Black Metal Dragon, because it is so good, with the ability to recycle itself and be a normal summonable level 7 from the deck is pretty damn good. You just normal summon it, tribute it for a level 7 from your deck. Red Eyes, of course. Really, 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 really cool card. You need it. You can see it's going for quite a bit down here. So 3 of these because it is the greatest baby monster. Then we're running 3 of the draw power card. It says send 1 level 7 Red Eyes monster from your hand to the graveyard, draw 2 cards. So it's agreed with extra cards, or with an extra effect, should I say, because it also has a Foolish Burial at the end of it. Then you can send a level 7 Red Eyes monster from your deck to the graveyard. It's loading up your graveyard, as well as draw power, which is pretty good. And since we've got 6 targets for this, yeah, it can't be level 7 or lower, it has to be level 7. So you can't go discarding this or this. That would be cool though if you could discard these. That would actually be really damn consistent if you could run 3 of these and then run 3 of these and have this be a target for that. But it's not, so we won't dwell on that too much. You want 3 of these just because draw power and Foolish Burial, even though you can only activate one per turn. It's draw power. What more do I need to say? Next up, we've got 3 Dragon Shrine just to dump from the deck, because a typical kind of brick hand for this would be all sorts of spells and traps. And if one of them happens to be Dragon Shrine, then that is a way of getting, dragons in your sandbox for special summoning with all kinds of revival stuff. So you can also activate one of these per turn, but you just hold on to the Dragon Shrines because they're not doing anything. They don't do anything harmful. They're hardly a dead card. Well, I suppose it can be a dead card if you're out of reasonable monsters, but it's nice early game, and it's nice to speed up the whole process of spamming the field with your boss monsters. So next up we've got triple MST, just because I have been running triple MST in everything lately, and I find that it's really, really good. Obviously, if you can clear your opponent's back row, you do a pretty damn good job naturally by using your beat sticks of clearing their field, especially this. So MST just helps clear the back row. 1 for 1, of course, because 3 MST obviously, as you can see. 1 for 1 because it brings out this from the deck, which essentially turns 1 for 1 into a discard 1 monster, special summon Red Eyes from your deck, which is amazing. Absolutely incredible. Excuse me. It can bring out this as well, which is the stupidest move, and if you do it, you're a fool. Unless you really, really desperately need Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. This actually is the staple target for Red Eyes Metal or Black Metal Dragon. Since you can't search this, you just search for the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, which is amazing. You have a card that searches this. Wow. But yeah, 1 for 1 just because. Then we're running 2 of the Fusion because we run 2 of the Fusion. 2 of the Fusion because you want to be able to send one. You pretty much want to be able to draw it. If you draw it, it's nice. It gives you a lot more options. You can search it off of this, but I find that searching off of this, I find that it doesn't really work because I have playtested this a little bit, and we are running 2. And just in case before anyone says you're only running 1 Summon Skull, you can actually resolve 2 of these in 1 game. It is not impossible because you can bring back the Summon Skull, and this says from your field, from your hand or your side of the field. Yeah. So even if you draw the Summon Skull, this card is still live. And if you draw the Summon Skull, going for this and go for the Fusion, usually with this is probably the best move because that Summon Skull is doing very little in your hand. So 2 of the Fusion, and then onto the non-Red Eyes well, there's still quite a lot of Red Eyes cards to come. What am I talking about? But for the rest of the spells, we just got 2 Silent Doom because bring back normals. All your Geminis are obviously normals in the graveyard, by the way. and then 2 Silver's Cry because it is quick play and it is better than Silent Doom. But you can only activate 1 per turn, which is why I think it is necessary to only run 2 of these, and instead 2 of the Silent Doom. Also, like I said, you can bring back the Summoned Skull, so that's strange. So, yeah, target 1 dragon type normal monster in your graveyard. Yeah, so you can't bring back this with this. Silver's Cry is better though, just because it's quick play and you can kind of surprise your opponents with it. It doesn't summon in defense mode, which is better because if it's in the battle phase and you have this and they think they've just survived and then you're just like, poof, this, and then that's 2400 more damage. So that's pretty sneaky wins can be pulled off with Silver's Cry. But mainly it's just for your XCs. And I find it funny how they've got a blue eyes on here. That's depressing to red eyes. So next up we've got 1 Red Eyes Burn. This is actually the trap card that I really like because people don't expect it because you're all XCing and reviving and fusing, and then you just flip this when they kill something, and it's Ring of Destruction effectively, but the old one. Both players take damage equal to its original attack. There is no messing around with me first, then you, if you do, body blah. It's just, yeah, target one of those monsters, yeah. So even if multiple are destroyed, you get to just inflict damage equal to the biggest one to both players, and this can actually end the game in a draw, obviously. So that's always fun. If you draw in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, that often takes like that's really rare. So next up, we've got 2 of the Red Eye Spirit because it's also like Silver's Cry, except it can bring back the Red Eyes Darkness Matter Dragon, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. So that's pretty really cool. I mean, this one has got the red eyes on it. This one's got the blue eyes on it, so that's pretty cool. I'm wondering why they didn't call it, like, Black Cry or something, I don't know. Whatever, it's cool. It's a trap card, so, and it's searchable off of this. Recycle your rank 7s, or level 7s, and as you'll see, we'll have so many rank 7s for this. Next up, we've got 2 of the Return of Red Eyes, just because it's continuous revival. This card, if you have this on the field for multiple turns, you're going to get so much advantage. It's amazing. And then finally, we've got 1 Ring of Destruction, just because we're sort of a damage deck, and it's going to help put them down further than us. Or at least put the last amount of damage on when they are further down. Actually, no. This is the new one. Yeah, so Ring of Destruction just contributes to the damage. So that's it for the main deck. That is obviously 40 cards, as you can see. Onto the extra deck real quick. We've got 2 of the Skull Dragon. It's sort of irrelevant, the extra deck. You just need lots of level 7s, lots of rank 7s, and some rank 4s. And then the Fusion. So 2 of these, because we've got 2 of the Fusion, it's possible to bring out 2. For rank 4s, we've got Castel, Daigosto MRL, Dot Rebellion Xyz Dragon, Exton, and Cowboy because damage. And then we've also got a 101 over here. Don't know why it has to be over there. So annoying. Yes, I've ordered these. So pretty much just standard rank 4s because your Tracer and your Keeper of the Shrine. We've got 2 Draco Sack. Yes, 2 Draco Sack because you are having so much access to level 7s that you never know. You may want to summon 2 Draco Sacks. The one Big Eye because Big Eye. And then also Master of Keyblades because, I don't know, if you run out you can use one of these. But this is actually, if you've read the effect of this, it is pretty good. And sometimes in certain situations it can be better than Draco Sack or Big Eye. But of course, it has to be targeted for you to destroy that card and then destroy another card on the field without targeting. So this card is actually pretty cool. Plus it's 27, which is bigger than both Big Eye and Draco Sack, but it is not quite as big as the main monster in the extra deck. That is the Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. This card is insane. You want 3 of these just because every time they do something, they take 500 damage. And guess what? This card can't be destroyed. So don't think, oh, I'll take 500 just so I can summon, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm thinking. I was going to say Raigeki, but that wouldn't even give them 500. Even if it did destroy this. So essentially you just make this and it's GG. You make this over and over again. That is your goal in this And it's also got quick play revival, like Silver's Cry, but you're only going to want to do that once. The play with this, or the idea behind it, is you summon it and then immediately do its effect so that you can go into another one of these, perhaps, or perhaps a Draco Sack, whatever you think, or maybe you're just summoning more for damage. And then you keep the other one until something occurs that would kill it. When your opponent summons Castel and activates its effect, you're like, oh no, this card is going to die because Castel doesn't destroy, so you chain your second one and get your second revival, just to make sure that this card properly pays for itself. So really, really good card, and it's 28, so it's not just as simple as, oh, destroy it by battle. No, it's got a big attack, so quite as big as this, but this is definitely more of a win condition than your fusion. So make sure you've got the flare metal over the fusion, just because I think this is a better card. And then I whipped up a random side deck just to say I have a complete deck. Standard stuff against Necros, Cosmos, Burning Abyss, Cleese, Ritual Beast, Talonites, and Volcanics. I don't know, Starlight Road. We don't even have Stardust in here, so you could take this out and put, like, I don't know, one of these in here. That might do. An Inferno Fire Blast. So that'll do. You're probably not too concerned about the side deck, but that's the extra deck, and that's the main deck. Thanks for watching. That is my Red Eyes deck profile. I'll see you in another video.